Please join me in welcoming back a person without whom none of us would have this center to attend, one of our founders, Dr. Clarke Odden.
I'm very pleased to be here. I'm honored to be here. What's been done with this group over the years is marvelous. And I want to thank first everybody who participates, has in the past, many come and gone, but the ones now. Linda and her staff, the practitioners, the musicians, and all of you, without whom this would not be. I always get a while back, it's been a year or two, I was here and Joel Westbrook came up to me and said, when you and my dad and some others signed the charter to start this particular group, he was 12, standing with us as we signed it and started it at that point. It had been going for some time, but we had a new charter. It was wonderful. And I'm thrilled that he's still here, and many of the rest of you, to carry on not just a tradition, although it is, but a presence, a New Thought presence here in this area as a community, as individuals, as people who may be brand new to this or newer, but committed in some way or other, looking, seeing how better, how more to make this useful, make this a part of, an automatic part of your life. I want you to all just think back about 10 minutes ago or a little bit more of all that has already been said. And even though it's very usual to start a service, my soul is welcome here. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? My soul is welcome here. Did you hear the baby talking to us, saying, yeah, listen up, which they frequently ask. I'm now a great-grandfather times 2, so I have 2 darling little great-granddaughters, and they're wonderful. But now and then they do remind us about things, don't they? And sometimes it's not always really happy at the time, but, never mind. Okay. It's wonderful to be here. It's wonderful to hear the words. It's wonderful to feel the feelings. It's wonderful. It's wonderful for me to have some of you come up and say hello, whom I haven't seen for a while, maybe a long while. New people. And speakers always like to hear that they've done well, because speakers always worry about not doing well. But be that as it may, it's very much, very much, very much a pleasure. How many times I've been here, I can't say. It's been a long time. But every one of them has had joy. Every one of them has had enjoyment, which we have had from the music. But listen to the words of the music also. Listen to the words that it says. Divine direction. You see, we sometimes, we're so imbued with our normal cultural, never mind the bad grammar, normal cultural norms, is that, okay. That, we tend to, we have a thing in us that says, oh, I'm being entertained. Yeah, it was wonderful. But in this case, hear what it was saying. Hear what it was saying. Divine direction. Divine direction. And connection. And awakening. Because we often seek for things that we already have. We often don't really have a good definition because we haven't really seen someone who has experienced what we have experienced, and so we tend to discount other people's words and experiences sometimes, and that's okay. That's just normal human. But listen carefully. Listen carefully and breathe, as she said. breathe. How many times have we read, breath is life? How many times have we read, love is life? How many times have we heard, hold me, please, I'm hurting? How many times have we said, I'm here for you? How many times have we needed someone to be here for us? How many times have we wished there was a place to go where I didn't have anything demanded of me, where I could just sit and listen and be at peace? How many words have I read to understand and to learn about what's going on inside me in this teaching? How many places have I been? And by the way, other than this place, and there are others, of course, we have other teachers, other schools, other things that are wonderful. But I want to put in a word for the Big Sky. Big Sky Retreat is a wonderful place. If you can go, it is marvelous. It is not only beautiful, it is inspiring. The speakers are tremendous. The workshops, the little get-togethers, the dinners, every part of it is imbued with this spirit. So I invite you to come whenever, if ever you can. For those of you that have been there, I thank you, because it was a labor of love, and it still is. It is this is commercial. It is the longest running metaphysical retreat in the world. 42 years this coming year. And the first 25 we were at Jackson Lake Lodge, beautiful place. Since then, Jackson Lake Lodge decided they wanted larger groups because we weren't terribly large. And so we left there and we found Big Sky, which is about 50 miles north in southern Montana. Beautiful place. Come and see it. Come share yourself, because that's what it's all about. Let's talk this morning about Science of Mind. And however long you've been in it, however long you haven't, however long you've been thinking about it, or maybe thinking about it, or contrasting it with what's come before, or what it is you feel you need, I want you to think closely about what's here. We've already talked about some things, some very important things. As Linda said when we first started, we are on holy ground. We are on holy ground. Remember what Holmes wrote about. Every book is sacred. Every word is sacred. It is not scriptural. It is not, we will never tell you what you must do, have to do in order to meet the requirements, because there aren't any. The only thing we ask you to do is come. To share, to study, to learn, to repeat, and invite. To support it, to give your time, your sustenance, all the things that, George Carlin used to kid about, a whole bunch of people getting together, and then and giving all their money to this other, outfit. Well, we're not another outfit. We're your outfit. We're here for all of us, not just a few. You're going to have a new minister soon. That's always exciting. We've had numerous ones over the years. Lots of them. Not lots. I don't know how many. Maybe half a dozen, maybe so. They've all been wonderful. They've all brought something unique, something exciting. Even the one who, after a year and a half, said, I'm quitting Science of Mind. I'm moving to the Soviet Union. I want to be a communist. I don't think he got that from us, but maybe. I don't know. And it's okay, whatever floats your boat. No, he was a very nice guy. His name was John Richards. Very nice fellow for a year and a half. Now, we've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of good things take place. There's always been more here to share than many people will take part in, and that's okay. Times are changing. We're now much more, I don't really like the word. Computer people are really screwball. Well, not really. No, they're just funny. And I read this at the very end of the first morning's talk. I want to read it to you to start with because when I try to get involved or try to use a computer to help me put notes together for a talk or do something like that, it's really kind of odd. But I found this, and it's not terribly spiritual. It's just cute. Your heart is the universe. No, sorry. Your heart is the browser. The pathways are your search engine. The universe is your real internet. And there are many addresses to the beloved whose server is always online. Now, I think that's cute. And it will make me act nicer towards my computer. I promise not to pound on it or say bad words. Science of mind, oh yeah, that's what we're talking about, isn't it? Science of mind is talking about each of us. You all know, you've been in this for more than a week, that what we're talking about is a teaching that tries to teach living for the highest and best that you can imagine. Because God speaks to us and acts in us, not from out there somewhere, but from in here. It works out there too because the outer and the inner are all one. There is no separation, even though those of us who have studied many years sometimes have a little hesitation about something out there that makes a big difference. But let us remind ourselves, it's all an inside job. And we are the inside. And what is inside us we cannot define. We can only speak with and make use of and choose in right fashion for the highest and best of all concerned. And that goes for us individually as we speak the word for how we want our lives to be, as we take the actions that back up those words, and how we put that word out not only for us but for our community, for this community, for the greater community, for the nation, for the world. And we have a theme for Science of Mind overall and for this past month of personal growth, global growth, development, living better. Ernest Holmes always said, do what you will, but begin at home. Start within. Speak the word for your living happier, more freely, better, more lively, more healthy, more financially ready and capable, more able to help manage your living well. But speak for the community also, because there is no separation. None. Only as we might tend to think there is. Does it act that way? But it is not true. You and I don't know each other necessarily, and some of you, yes, some of you know. But what we think, do, and say affects each other, even if it's not said to another person. Your mental, spiritual atmosphere does make a difference. And that's all Holmes was saying. Learn how to build that and have it be something that you're proud of, that you can share, that you can speak of, that you can give to others without aggrandizement, without saying, gee, I know this and you don't. Too bad you haven't gone into the deep secrets like I have. I've been a student of the I Ching for over 40 years. And as Confucius said, when he was very aged, if he had another 50 years, he would live it just to spend studying. If I had another 50 years, I would probably do the same. But see, the thing is, I do have. I will have. And whether I do it in this realm, in another realm, in this world, another world, at this time, in another time, it makes no difference. Because I am the one who speaks and who shares and lives the Word. And you are too. That's not an order. Try not to discount yourself. Try to allow yourself, if you have it, to suspend your disbelief, to suspend your questioning to any high level. Let the infinite work for you. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Napoleon Hill, somebody. Maybe not him. No. Murphy. You remember Murphy? Okay. He said, you can demand of God anything you want. You can demand, you can force, you can pound on the table and say, this is mine and I'm going to have it and I'm going to affirm it 900 times a day until it's there. And God will give it to you. What you might miss in that transaction is the love and the other things that go along with what you're asking for. And if we ask for love and all that goes along with that, and we truly understand that what goes along with that is health, happiness, peace, joyousness, financial well-being, being supplied with that we need and want. It all goes together. And how many times have we said, this I will do? And how many times have we allowed something else to kind of take precedence or interfere? Oh my gosh. And we worry about this. And we wonder about that. And we think, is that really so? Can I do that? Can I do that? You do that? But it's okay. It's okay. Because that is how we exercise our growth. We exercise, not exorcise. That's how we exercise. We have other things to exorcise. That is how we exercise what we know. By wondering, by worrying sometimes, by questioning, by interacting. We question ourselves, and then when we are willing to listen to a right answer, a good answer, a blessed answer, then we may learn more. Awakenings can come in small things, you know. They're not always big flashing lights and awakening to the universe. It can be as much as listening to a child, watching a grandchild, and we think, oh, that's just normal human stuff. Yeah? Well, what else do we do? Normal human stuff is blessed. Normal human interaction is blessed. Sometimes it's aggravating, sometimes it's less than we would like. We have a lot of that going on right now in the country. But what holds us up from underneath? What holds us up? What supports us and never goes away? What is it that we have that we can never lose? My soul is welcome here. The infinite cannot separate itself from us any more than we can separate from it. The love that is the infinite can no more separate itself from us than we can separate ourselves from it. The awakenings cannot be kept from us. God doesn't keep secrets. God doesn't work on deals. God doesn't work out of back rooms unless somebody's in bad need and says, oh, please, I need this poker hand. I don't know your background. I don't know what losses and pain you've had, as well as happy times and wonderful times and magnificent times. We've all had them. But there is more than just times. There is all time, and all time says, all things work together for good. Blessed is this day that is not a day, Blessed is this time, which is not a time. Blessed is this age, which is not an age, and all the worlds in between. They are mine to enjoy. But when we get involved, when we start looking around and asking all those questions and floating off into the ethers, Ernest Holmes is in the back of the room saying, "My grandmother is ill. What do I do about that?" Learn what you have here and now, and whatever is to be will take care of itself for your highest and best. Give of yourself now, and whatever is to be will take care of itself as you live what you have given. Speak words of love now, and that love will return to you in more ways than you will ever know. Heal now, and be healed. Transform, transfigure. One of the favorite things of mine about treatment, Holmes said, that treatment doesn't just rearrange things, In case some of you aren't really aware, a little difference between treatment and prayer. The word treatment isn't used as much, perhaps, as it used to be, but treatment was Holmes' method of kind of separating out what we do, what your practitioners here do, and are more than happy to do, help you with, is healing with treatment. It is a formula? Yes, in a way. It is a guideline. It is a practice of how to access and make use of that which is within you that heals. Holmes said, we don't hold thoughts for people. It's okay. We're not putting any of this down. What I'm saying is, it isn't necessary to hold thoughts, to transfer energy. It isn't necessary to do a lot of things that we do. It's okay. Speak the word. Recognize the divine within. Speak that word in you for another person and give thanks that it takes place and the results are now. Will you see changes? Yes, you will. Will you know what they are ahead of time? No. Does it matter? Nah. Because you're not in it. You speak the word and mind does the work. The infinite takes place. The infinite takes hold. How many times, how many ways? Let's finish this with just a cute poem that I have. You think about how many times, how many ways, but know inside the answer to that is, it doesn't matter.